Hello, this is Adam Yurchik for TCGplayer.com. This hand is a keep. I'm on the draw, and I have an infect creature and a pump spell. And then I also have double blighted agent to go along with that, and then the noble hierarch for acceleration. So this hand seems good to me. Few mana, few infectors, and then some pump. The way that it works out is 2 pump spells and 1 infect is going to be game, generally. Here, I'm going to get a blue-green land to make sure I can play Blighted Agent. And my life total is relevant, but I shouldn't be too worried about taking a few damage in the beginning of the game. So I'll play land, but I'm not planning on using Groundswell. I'm just going to play a Blighted Agent here. Shadow of Doubt, interesting. So I'll play a Noble Hierarch. The way that worked out, I would have been better off using it main phase. Counterspell. So he missed the land drop, which is good. I'm not going to attack. I'm going to leave up mana for pump. He cast Think Twice, so I'm going to use Verdant Catacomb and play around his Shadow of Doubt. It was possible I could have put my land untapped in case I needed to use 2 pump spells to keep my guy alive. But I didn't think that was really a good plan. So, Giant Growth plus Might is 7. Plus 1 from Noble Hierarch is 8. Plus 1 from Blighted is 9. So that's good enough to win, so I'm going to use Groundswell here. But then my guy wouldn't live because I have not played a land. So Giant Growth it is. And then hopefully I can draw a land to win. But it's looking pretty good now. And then attack for the win. He showed me his hand. I wish I would have saw it before I clicked. Okay, it looked like he had white cards like Path to Exile and stuff. That's the deck he was playing, it looked like. He got mana screwed, I guess. So Spellskite is strong against that deck, for sure. They have a lot of targeted abilities. Dismember is not needed. Abrupt Decay is not really necessary, nor is Needle. Inquisition is the card I'd be most interested in playing. But I don't really think it's better than my other options. So the Spellskite comes in. I'm going to cut a Rancor since it's kind of weak against him. I don't really want to play Rancor and then get my creature killed, and that's going to happen against the control deck. So I'll cut the other Rancor, bring in an Inquisition, and then I'm thinking I'm bringing in the last two Inquisition. I'm going to cut a Plague Stinger and then go with 2 Inquisition. I think I'm going to cut Dryad Arbor and actually just leave the Plague Stinger. I think I want to overwhelm him with Infectors because he has so much removal. And 2 Inquisition is fine. I could cut maybe a Pump Spell, but I think they're all necessary. Inquisition's alright. I'm going to cut a Mutagenic Growth. Doesn't really make my guys live through Bolt. It's definitely useful, especially when they throw a bunch of burn at you. You can save it with that Mutagenic. So this looks fine. I have the Hierarch. Can't plan on it living. He did lead Colonnade, which is good. If he bolts Hierarch, that would be best case for him. If he pathed it, that would obviously be fine for me. Although I believe there's no islands in this deck. So that's something to think about. Might even be worth playing. Okay, here I think I need to Spellskite. That resolves. I'm going to go ahead and get Overgrown and then cast this Noble. And then between those 2 blue sources, hopefully I should be able to resolve that Blighted. I got the Overgrown because I have more black cards in the deck than blue right now. And because I have blue mana with the Hierarch. So I'm kind of worried about Wrath. I think I'm going to have to get rid of those Inquisitions for Thoughtseizes in the future. Doesn't make much sense to me. He leaks it. I'm just going to pay. So he has a bunch of red cards. He kept another awkward hand. Clasm, Bolt, to Electrolyze. If he Clasms, I can keep a guy alive with Mutagenic Growth. Bolt doesn't do anything, and Electrolyze actually doesn't really get messed up by Spellskite. So I'm going to take Electrolyze. Pass. Now, if I can dodge red, I'll have him dead in 2 turns. Had I just played the Blighted instead of the discard, if I would have let that leak resolve and played Blighted, I would have had him dead, but I like my play. And I'm just going to play both. I actually missed 2 damage last turn with the Spellskite. Guy double exalted, but it doesn't really matter. Certainly does matter. I'm not saying you should miss damage, but it won't matter this game. This is my first time playing with this deck, actually. And it seems like a lot of fun and really good. It's a little bit flimsy, and with Jund leaving the format, this deck is poised to make a comeback. I'll attack. Let Exalteds go on. And I'll groundswell it. And I'll mutagenic growth it. I see no reason not to just let this hit, and then I'll win with Ink Moth or one of my 2 creatures, rather than Vinesing and getting blown out by 2 spells. This allows me to beat pretty much anything. Had I not had the Nexus there, I probably would have just moved in on the Vines. Because I have Spellskite, not much can beat me. So that's the match. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back for round 2.